ain't ready for none of that. They ain't ready for that either. They definitely not ready for that. But it's cool. Peace, family. Where y'all at? Hope everything is well, y'all. I'll let y'all come in for a second. Okay, well, we got somebody in here. Peace, peace, peace. Hope all is well with you. Hey, it's the Queen. How you doing, Rose? Good morning. Good morning. Well, for me, it's morning. Good morning. Hope all is well. I'm glad to have you in here. The first one in here. I ain't come to talk too much. It's early. I just woke up. Just wanted to say good morning to everybody. You know, have a good fucking day. Hope y'all guys got to see the last video I just uploaded. It's pretty dope. For anybody who comes in here later, check that out. But yeah, I just woke up pretty much. Not just woke up, but pretty much just woke up. And just so happened to come downstairs and my notes was open. Like, it was just, I don't know. I'm working on some notes. I'm gonna let you see the pictures at least. Just know I'm over here working. I don't know if you can see this. And I'm not a good artist, but I think I did well. You see a lot of symbols. You see a lot of caduceus and brains and spines. And it's a lot of shit that I'm going to go over soon that deals with, it's alchemy. It deals with alchemy. But I'm trying to get my notes right, y'all. So, I didn't stop making videos on symbolisms. I didn't stop making videos on anything. It's just I'm studying hard. Like, I don't be playing with this. I do not be playing with this. We talking about the soul Niger, the black sun. Like, we gonna get into it soon, but I'm not gonna pull out too much alchemy and symbolism right now for now, just because I want to get that down. Because I came across something, and I'll talk to you, Queen. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what I'm getting into. Well, we know, well, I know, I don't know how how everybody else might know, but when we're dealing with alchemy, and I would say I wouldn't say this is necessarily new to me, but uh, the way I study, if I'm studying law, I'll study law all month or something, or 2 months or whatever my study is at that time. I put in the effort to do the work, the research before I present it. So when it comes to this alchemy, I know how difficult it can be to comprehend and understand. So I never come and present you guys with anything that I can't break down to. Hold on, Queen. But yeah, so I study hard before I present it. And right now I'm studying alchemy and other things, but the more you get into symbolism, the more you get into just looking into the certain things that gave us our perspectives of like life and creation and who we are. When you really dig into that, you start finding things. You start, because you're already processing the intelligence to read symbols, which help with reading hieroglyphs and everything in general. And hearing poetry, when it comes to poetry or music in general, a lot of the artists do something called rapping in metaphors, speaking in metaphors. And that's pretty much symbolism, right? So when you start to learn how to read symbols, how to hear, process, and break down symbols as you go, you start just coming upon shit that might have slipped your mind the first time. And so I got into some shit where it's dealing with the mind. And as we know, mind is all in all is mind. And that sounds beautiful. That sounds great and groovy. But it's a difference when you got to prove it, or at least give solid evidence for your argument, right? And so I'm getting into the mind perspective aspect of alchemy. Now, alchemy literally resides in Africa. Kemet, Al, El, light, El, Kim. Kim is Kemet, black land, land of blacks, whatever you want to. Alchemy. So alchemy is original in with black peoples. Well, I'm studying into the mind is all concept a little more. Sup, be easy. Appreciate you, man. Good morning. Good morning. Well, for me, it's good morning. So, good morning. I came on here just quickly because I still got to get everything situated. But I'm speaking on my studies and why I haven't been posting um, symbolisms and alchemy things of that nature. So, I'm looking into the mind as all aspect maybe 2, 3 days ago. And I'm doing my studies, and I already know about the Eye of Horus, the Eye of Amen Ra, and how it's your brain and the pineal and shit like that. And that's fine and dandy. I've known that for some years, and it's a literal thing. If you break open a brain, you'll see it. But that's besides the point. Well, I'm looking into the mind as all concept, and I know the symbolism in that phrase alone, but I'm looking literally into the anatomy of a brain, if you will. And I have two biology books that I was getting my references from. And I came upon something, and I can't really show you. I don't want to show y'all yet because as an artist, as a teacher, as just anybody who's trying to present something, you never present something half-assed. But I came across something that I haven't seen from anyone that studies and deals with alchemy. Now, I didn't just find alchemy out of nowhere. I actually know reference points of people who study alchemy. And from these people, I haven't seen them break this shit down yet. I haven't even seen them speak on what I'm gonna tell y'all. So when this shit, and like I showed Rose, I'm gonna show Be Easy. Like I'm not gonna show you everything, but I'm in the lab with it. Like I'm in the lab with it, right? So when I do my thing, when I present this shit to y'all, know that y'all gonna get some shit when we deal with the black sun, the black sun. All right. So yeah, I'm really excited for the presentation I will give on this, and like I said, and like I'll start continuing to say at least, I do personal classes. Like for lack of a better word, I use the word classes. It's just for lack of a better word, y'all. But I do personal classes with all subjects, and I'm teaching some of the family now personally. So if you guys want to get that one-on-one action, all y'all got to do is get a hold of me, and we can, build your personal knowledge up. That way, when I jump on with my shit, you right there with me. You feel me? But this mind is all thing is crazy because we say a lot that, and I say a lot. I mean it, but just for example wise, I'll say you create your own reality. Mind is all is mind, right? And to the degree of you literally do create your own reality, I'm correct. But when anybody says mind is all and all is mind, that just sounds good because most of the people can't explain it without going above and beyond what they need to do just to explain that. You feel me? So I'm going to be able to explain it to you guys, but also show you because I'm going to write it down while we do it. That way you can understand how awesome and great you are as your individual self, and how you literally create your reality. You see what I'm saying? It's like, well, if you think good, good things are gonna happen. That's all is mine. No, that's not. Because bad shit's gonna happen anyway. So you can't say all is mine like that, and then somebody asks you, well, bad things still happen, and you can't answer them. So, all right, here we go. I'll give you this one. I forgot this was on here. Okay, so check this out. Let me scoot my shit back. Now, mind you, these notebooks are rough notes. These are rough notes. These aren't perfected. Once they make it here, they're perfected. So this is still need work, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me write it down. Damn, that notebook is full. Fuck. No open page. Jesus. Okay, check this out. So God created the heavens first, right? It's dope. It's awesome. But that's wrong. That's absolutely 100% wrong. And this is one of the tricks of the trade. This is one of the verbal spells, you know. These are one of the hypnosises we get under. Hypnosis eyes. We're under hypnosis, G. When we hear God created the heavens, then the earth, right? We hear what is being said, and that's it. This is symbolism that we need to learn. In order for God to create the heavens and the earth, God would have to have been created itself first. It just makes sense. Now you have different concepts of what God is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. God, in whatever context you want to take it, would have to have created itself in order to create the heavens, in order to create earth, in order to create man. Now we understood, I don't know if we understand, but I plan to do the video anyway. But God, in the aspect of itself, is a creating principle, a creator. God is a creator. And I use the word God in quotations because we know before 325 BC, there was no God. Well, God had to create itself first. Okay, so we have three souls. We have soul in the sun. Latin, sun means soul. We have our soul, the light within the darkness. And we have the soil, because the earth is a living planet, a living being, if you will, right? So there's our three souls, which so happen to be our trinity, square, circle, triangle, right? Okay, so we really have to know that. That way when we hear God created itself, how? Well, let me make sure my notes are all in order, so because I'm copying off this picture. That way I can show you the same shit. All right, so God created self. If you got notes or are able to take notes, try to take notes. But I'll be taking I'm gonna put the camera to my notes. That way you guys can see it and take notes yourself. So God created itself first. It's real simple. God created itself first, right? Nope. Okay, cool. So let's look at how that's possible. God created self by reflecting upon itself or thinking upon itself. That's a metaphor. So God created self by reflecting upon itself. But when you use thought to hootie, you see what I'm saying? When you use thought, you're dealing with neurons and electrons. Neurons and electrons have to pop in order to do so. And when that happens, that's the electrons, the light within the darkness. Okay? which you can apply to the all is mind. And the way you do that is understanding the lateral ventricles. Oh, here come the family. We gotta move. So give me 2 seconds. My bad, family. All right, so God created itself first in order to create heavens and the earth and everything in between. Well, by doing so, we got to understand we can't categorize God as any type of physical anything. Okay? And when we use the word thought or think, remember we're dealing with alchemy. We're dealing with symbolism in words. So when he or it thought upon itself or reflected upon itself, neurons and electrons have to pop when you think. That's your light within your darkness. Well, if you look up the lateral ventricles, frontal view of the lateral ventricles dealing with the brain, right? You will see clear as day. I'm giving y'all too much game, but I'm not doing it in a way how I'm gonna do it later. But when you look at the lateral ventricle of the brain, because understood that alchemy comes, well, all science. So let me just say that all science comes from Egypt, Africa, black people, right? Alchemy, the word, get, tells you that. But when you look into ancient Egypt, you'll see the Eye of Horus or the Eye of Amin Ra, right? This is the ring I wear, right? Well, they have the depiction like layered on top of the brain because they understood anatomy. They understood the mind and the physical brain. So they chopped it and they seen the pineal attributed to the Eye of Horus and the Eye of Amin Ra. Cool. But nobody does the frontal view of the brain. And I haven't seen any depictions. And I've studied for some years, right? This is what, and trust me, I got it down pat. This is what it looks like. Doesn't that look like the uterus, the ovaries, the ovaries? Even though these are the cerebellum, the ovaries, the uterus, the portal to life and death, God, God. So check this out. So God created itself by reflecting upon itself, meaning neurons and electrons had to pop within the darkness or your soul, right? All is mind. Then he created the heavens, which we're dealing with the primordial waters. Now we're dealing with the symbolism of the all is mind. We can go everywhere else and break a whole bunch of other shit down, but we don't need to. Right, Rose? Right. Right. So imagine, hey, listen, I got this, I have it laid out how I'm going to teach it. I'm freestyling for y'all, but right, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, then I'll say he, but we're talking about God. God is not a he, but just let me rock. So God created itself upon itself by reflecting upon itself, causing neurons and electrons, new, darkness, electrons, light, L, light, neurons, electrons, right? So this is how this 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 is what this got to do with. All is mind. So then created the heavens. When we're talking about the heavens, we're talking about primordial waters. And if you've been keeping up, the word waters literally breaks down to the W, which is the water sign, and ater, which means dark, dark waters. So the primordial darkness, right? Or the primordial waters, the dark waters. Well, what? Well, anyway, then he created the heavens, because it's the temple of God, right? Well, the heavens are dealing with the primordial waters, or the dark, because it's dark in this motherfucker, waters, which are the cerebrospinal fluid that protect the brain. This is your dark waters. It's crazy, bro. All right, so let's go over it again, just real quick. And I'm not gonna be on here long, maybe another 5 minutes flat, for real. I, Motherfucker got shit to do. But I just wanted to come on here and give y'all just an insight on what the fuck I've been up to, and this shit is crazy. So God created itself by reflecting upon itself, creating thought, Tahuti, which is your neurons. Your new means dark waters, and your electrons, your L, light, light within darkness. Then created the heavens, or the primordial waters, or space, or whatever you want to call it, which is the cerebrospinal fluid within, protecting the brain. Now remember, we're dealing with the symbolism, which is the uterus. There go your ovaries, your ovaries. Shut the door. And your vagina, your which is your Aries. But when you look at the frontal view of your brain, you have your ram, your Aries, your uterus. Even your cerebellums are symbolic of your ovaries, right? So this is what we're dealing with. This is the same as this. This creates life as God would. This creates life as God would. So then he created the earth, which is the body, so to speak. The electrons from the brain, the light. This is your fall of Adam and Lucifer and whatever the fuck. Then the earth, the electrons from the brain travel down the spine that is still encased by the same primordial waters, or the same fluid. So the light travels from brain, falls down all the way to earth, which is the root chakra, which is your feet. So Lucifer, the light, whatever, the fall of Adam, the fall of Lucifer, it doesn't matter. The light, when you think, it travels to wherever the fuck that message is going. So the fall of Adam is the light, God creating itself with the thought, and the fall of the electrons, so to speak, or the light, to earth, where Saturn or Lucifer was condemned to hell, or Hades, which is earth, or the fire within earth, which is the volcanoes and the core and shit like that. So it's all just symbolism. So let's look at it in a simple way. Now this is freestyle. Don't hold me to everything. Well, hold me to everything, but just understand it's gonna be presented much better than this. This is just for the family to understand what the fuck is going on. So like I said at the beginning, you have three souls. You have your soul, and your soil, right? The three serpents. When you get into occultic artwork and symbolisms and shit, you understand the three serpents, which is your soul, or your soul, and the soil, okay? So check this out. In a depiction, we have our Trinity, soul, soil. We have our Trinity again as light, or darkness, light, carbon, right? Those are two ways to look at the Trinity. Then we have to take the symbolism of religion. God first created the heavens, then the earth, and everything in between, right? Heaven, earth, between. Right. Okay, so let's check this out. Within the heavens, you have the darkness, the darkness, the light, which are the stars, the light. It's all dealing with you. You are a reflection of the universe, as above, so below, as within, as without. So you have the darkness of the universe, darkness. You have the light of the stars, light. Then you have the carbon planets. All those planets are the physical, right? This earth itself is carbon, not, let's get this right. So you have your dark, your light, and your carbon in the heavens already, already. Then you have earth. Earth is the carbon. The light is the soul, bruh, and the darkness within. So there's your heaven and your earth. Now everything in between. Well, earth, what we'd have to deal with is as well are the four elements which make up the earth. You have your water, your air. Okay? So now everything in between, as above the heavens, the stars, the planets, the darkness, as below on the earth. The the earth, the water, the soul, the whole shebang is there. Now let's look at in between. In between is us. So we have our Trinity again. So in between, we are made of all of those same elements. We have the darkness and the light. We are the carbon. We stand on the carbon. We have the water, which is our blood, which is mostly water. Our bodies are like 85% water. We have the earth in us. We have the fire in us. We have all four elements. So when we're talking about trinities, we have to understand there's three trinities. You got your square, circle, triangle trinity, light, darkness, carbon trinity. You have your three serpents, your three souls. There's your trinity again. It's just, oh my God, it's just so much to talk about. And then when you uh, uh, add up the three principles of creation, which is square, triangle, circle, not in that order, square, circle, triangle. So we have the triangle, that's 7. We have the square, that's 6. And we have the circle, that's 8. When you add them bitches up, you get 21. Add them bitches up, you get your 3. So we have to be able to break down symbolically, numerologically, what's being spoke to us, because it's telling us the truth. You have to understand. There are truths, there are facts of life. And to any old regular person, it sounds like I'm rambling and scribbling pictures and shit. But to the trained mind, y'all understand what I'm talking about. And I know my family watches my symbolism videos and alchemy videos. So I know y'all feel me. I know it. When we look at the mind, it's all concept. When you look at, I know it gets deep, but when you look at the all is mind concept, and then you look at the mind in the literal sense, you go Google a brain, and you see that from the side you got your eye of Horus, your eye of Amen Ra. Fine, I've been studied that years and years ago, no problem there. But then when you look at a frontal view, which I never thought about doing until maybe 3 months ago, and you see that it looks like symbolism. It looks like, when you say looks like, we can speak symbolism. It looks like the uterus. And then we say that the mind creates all. And we know that the uterus is the creative aspect. The female is the God in the physical. So when you start to really put them two together, like, damn, I know the portal of life is through a woman. I know the universal primordial waters is a feminine. And then you see that the brain is literally shaped like a uterus with the ovaries, as my picture showed you. And you can go look at it and it'll show you the same. You start to really understand how much of a creator you are. Now, this ain't my presentation, but it sounds pretty good, and I'm like, okay. Sometimes you gotta pat yourself on the back, like, yo, you did that shit. But this is what I'm working on, and this is why I haven't presented it yet. I'm not necessarily strictly just studying that uh, lateral ventricle. I'm not just studying that, but that's going to be my next video. So y'all kind of getting a heads up, G. Understand how much of a creator you are, and understand that the ancients who studied the physical understood the symbology of everything, understood the power of everything, and understood how things worked. When we look at the mind, it's surrounded by the waters. You feel what I'm saying? We're surrounded by the waters in our minds. And I say waters like that to make you guys distinguish back to symbology. W is the water sign, and Ater means dark. So we're still dealing with the dark waters. The primordial waters are here. The temple of God is right here. The heavens is right here. Earth is here. Everything in between is here. You have your dark, your light, right? And you are the carbon. So the creative principles are already above the neck. Okay? So then we look at the four elements. That's everything from the neck. You can do just the head, but from the neck down are the elements. Then when you crack open your skull, you'll see that your pineal is your eye of Horus, which we'll do a whole nother video about that. But uh, each line, each line is a measurement. Remember, quote unquote, God's language is mathematics. Angles. This is who your angels are. Your angels are light, right? Light beings. They're really angles of light. They're not angels, they're angles of light. So when we start really getting into this type shit and you make the connection, and I think this is more important for the women to see this video when I present this video properly of the universal womb is right here. I think that will benefit the the divinity of the woman when she figures that out. Through the woman's vagina, all life is come, all life is going, all life exists within the woman. Strictly. And I'm speaking universal womb too. I have that picture I showed you with the circle. I'm not getting into that, but everything deals with the feminine principle as well as the masculine because there's balance. But we're speaking on the creation of life, and the creator is a feminine principle. Then you break open your fucking head and you see that your uterus is literally right here. It's right here. The creation, the creator, the mind is all. The mind creates everything, creates your reality. So I just found that very, very interesting, man. Mind you, I gotta repeat it. You know, people come on late and people break in late. This isn't the presentation. I'm not even giving you full knowledge. I'm giving you the nutshell of what I'm studying, bro. But yeah, you see the ram. The ram is a zodiac of Aries, but the ram is also a symbolic uh, or a symbol of the uterus, and you have to study on your own to know it as fact. But I wouldn't lie to you. But when you look at the word ovaries, you see O, V, vagina, Aries, O-V, Aries, ovaries, right? O being the womb, the egg, the infinity, the triple blackness, right? V being the vagina, the portal, the creative portal to life and death. Because if you close your legs and don't let me get none, ain't no procreation happening. And then you look within, that's without, right? So you look within, and your creative symbolism is here. The waters are here. The light is here. The darkness is here. Everything is here. And this is what they're saying. At the beginning of alchemy, it was more so a focus to transmutate and transform metals. That's how it originally, I won't even say originally, but that's how it was practiced. Very little later on in history, it turned into not only uh, transforming metal, but it turned into how all of that relates to man. And when I say man, I'm speaking man and woman, just people. So alchemy is the study of self in all aspects. So when you understand this, you understand everything, everything. And I'm a part of different chat rooms on YouTube, and I see a lot of people. I seen this last night, and this is a fact, and I'm going to paraphrase, but I'm going to get as close as to verbatim as I can. Somebody in this certain chat room that I was in very recently was talking to the people in the chat room and whatnot. And then they made a statement because everybody was feeling this person. It's like, oh, yeah, they're pretty smart. And then this person said something that was an immediate red flag. The person said, yeah, everybody, I know everything. Just come to me for the answers. Immediately, I just stopped giving a fuck about anything they said. Immediately, stopped giving a fuck about anything they said. Only a fool thinks they know everything. Only a fool thinks. And I'll be honest, some of the shit that the person was saying was wrong as fuck, but nobody else knew. And we were dealing with alchemy. And so I was just sitting there watching people and how gullible people really are just because something sounds good. And I dig it. But I'm not like that. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna tell you this shit, but it's up to you to check it out. Understand, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's up to the. And so when people, you come across those people, I don't know everything about alchemy. I don't know everything about history. I don't know everything about everything. I'm fine with that. But this shit that I just showed y'all, even though it was rough draft, pretty much, you got the message. You feel me? Right? How do you, it feels weird for me to say something. I know everything. That sounds weird. Like, nigga, you barely know how to do your tax papers, nigga. All them lines and numbers. So I'm not gonna sit here and perp like I know everything. I know what I know, and what I do know, I give to y'all, and I give to my family, and I build my people up. And that's what it's about, because you know something I don't know shit about. And so if I could pull that information from you, I'm gonna take advantage. And it should be a vice versa thing, but not at any point should a motherfucker be like, oh yeah, I know it all, man. Fuck. How do you know everything? How do you know everything? That means you gotta know every language ever spoke. You gotta you gotta know certain motherfucking people from history on a personal level to know they existed and shit. Like, bruh, you tripping. But then again, mine is all. So it's far fetched as fuck, but you could throw that in an argument. But understand, I'm about to get off, but understand that the mind is all, and the mind is the creator. The mind is the creation. You feel me? The symbology is the purpose of symbology for this example I'm using. Yeah, it's a big ass red flag, big ass red flag. But the purpose of what I was showing you, and the purpose of the symbology of the uterus being seen within the mind, including the ovaries, which are the cerebellum, all the way down to the primordial waters, which are the cerebrospinal fluid, to the electrons, which is the light within the darkness. All of it symbolizes this. All of it symbolizes this. You look out into space, you say, this is God, this is that, this is that. And that's separating yourself from the all.
Yeah, I need to go to work.
All right, shut the door. I'm
She's
coming.
gone.
She's gone. Mommy went to work already. But everything is this. Everything is mind. And what I just showed you was how the symbols and the symbology, the importance of being able to learn and read and hear symbology and process symbology. That's why. So when they say fucking Jesus walks on water, we know that that is the sun reflecting upon the waters. We know that. But then there's a whole nother significant meaning to that and shit. So, for instance, for instance, God walked on the water. No, we don't going to use that one. That's too quick and easy to explain. Yeah, well, let's use that because I'm about to get off. So God walks on the water, right? Or Jesus walks on the water. Cool, whatever. Understand that Jesus is the sun, the soul, the light, as well as Lucifer. They're the same person. Don't get it twisted. And any deep ass religious people that come and see this, I'm gonna say it one more time. The the devil, if you will, and God are the same. Okay. You don't like it? Why are you on here? But when the sun walks on water, that's the sun reflected upon the water. Fine. But now when we take the whole scripture, we'd have to break that shit down. But ultimately, what it's saying to you is everything's dealing with you. Everything's dealing with creation because you're the creator and the created, right? Okay. So when we speak on the sun walking on the water, we are speaking of the light or uh, the sperm traveling through the waters. The sun is light, the light, the light. The triangle is walking upon the waters. And God created heaven and hell, or heaven and earth, and blah blah blah. And the spirit of God was hovering over the waters. That's the sperm traveling up the waters of the womb of the Creator. This is symbology. This is symbolic shit. Trying to tell you how creation is on different levels, not just your physical. There's plenty of things I can reference that deals with creation of all, if you will. So yeah, guys, I'm really putting this shit together. That's why I haven't put too much of it out. I've been focused on other videos and things because I'm sitting here every day, pulling different books out of everywhere, getting it down. So when it comes full circle and I'm ready to present it, I'm gonna have some shit for y'all. As well, if you want to do some private personal classes, I just call them classes, but it's really dialogue personally to build that information. I'm coming. Then listen, all you have to do is hit me privately and we can go from there. Because what I give you guys is not everything I know, obviously. But I'm willing to sit with you guys on whatever science you want, history, whatever the fuck it is. So yeah, with that, I gotta go handle this business. I fucked up on my some paperwork I needed to do right, and she about to try to help me out. All right. So with that being said, she mad. With that being said, I'ma holler at y'all niggas later. Much love to my family, Queen. I appreciate you coming. I hope that this was informative and get your mind working a little bit. Be easy. I absolutely appreciate you, God. I will see you guys later. I promise that. Till then, have a great day. Peace.